Hello and welcome to the new masterclass where I teach you how to master resonators in the most simplest way possible. Today we are diving into the brand new 5-star Galcio Sub-DPS support Lucilla. So if you want to maximize Lucilla's potential and dominate the battlefield, stick around. Let's break down her kit, rotations, echo sets, weapons, and team comps, and also have a little bit of analysis on Lucilla. Alright, let's start with Lucilla's core mechanics. Lucilla is a Galcio sub-DPS and support with two resonance modes, one focusing on applying and amplifying Galcio chafe, and the other focuses on boosting echo damage and echo crit damage for the entire team. Her gameplay revolves around generating photos, activating her resonance liberation whenever free photos are available, and consuming them with her enhanced attacks. And with that, we have to look at her 40 circuit. Lucilla's circuit bar has a maximum of 150 traces, which is divided into 3 segments. There's quite a bit of mumbo jumbo, you just have to know that every filled segment on her 40 circuit is automatically 1 photo. Now, how do you gain them? You can gain them with Lucilla's intro skill, which generates 2 photos, and her enhanced resonance skill, giving 1 photo, and casting her normal resonance skill and her third basic attack will each generate half photos. And I would like to explain a bit about Lucilla's perfect focus mechanic. When you hold basic attack or hold her skill, you will see a ring with 2 arrows pop up on your screen. You will get perfect focus if you land your arrows in the yellow area. It should be very reminiscent of Sanhua. The easiest and fastest way to get the perfect timing is by looking at the top arrow. You can immediately release it if it is near the 3 o'clock direction. Even if you do miss the timing, just continue to hold it down until it fills the entire circle. The attack will automatically release and it still counts as perfect focus. And it's better than to miss the timing and having to do basic attack 3 for the rest of the forte. So the easiest way to get all photos for Lucilla is enter using intro skill and gain 2 photos, and immediately hold resonance skill and hit the perfect timing to gain another photo, which this instantly prepares her resonance liberation. Then, is there anything to note on her basic attack? Well, unfortunately, no, there's not really anything noteworthy with her basic attacks, as you will never actually use it in combat, but you will use the resonance skill instead. So let's look at it. So, why do we just use the resonance skill? Because on her passive 1, her passive states, while casting resonance skill Spotlight, which is her enhanced resonance skill caused by perfect focus, Lucilla grants the following enhancements based on her resonance mode. While in Galcio chafe, she reduces enemy Galcio res by 8% for 30 seconds, and enemies killed by Galcio chafe counts as kills by the active character. While in echo mode, the entire team gains a simple 25% echo damage bonus for 30 seconds. This is why using her resonance skill is way more prioritized in the rotation. We will keep that in mind later when we talk about her rotation. Now let's talk about her resonance liberation. Her liberation is unique as it has no energy cost and is instead activated upon gaining 3 photos. Once activated, Lucilla enters an enhanced state and gains different buffs depending on the mode. While in Galcio chafe, her damage done during her liberation will count as basic attack damage, and she gains 30% basic attack damage for 10 seconds. While in echo mode, her damage will be counted as echo damage instead and gains 30% echo damage for 10 seconds. Lucilla has no heavy attacks during her enhanced state, but holding your basic attack does perform your enhanced basic attacks 1, 2, and 3 automatically. Now, before we talk about Oblivion, which is an important attack buff from Lucilla, we do have to talk about what she offers to her team, as these buffs will tie into Oblivion. When Lucilla is in Galcio chafe mode, you will have a verb called film rolls. What it does is when another teammate applies Galcio chafe, Lucilla will consume 1 film roll to apply 2 extra stacks of Galcio chafe. Activating her liberation will give her 4 film rolls, and consuming 3 photos will give you a total of 6. Film roll caps out at 10 stacks. And while you're in echo mode, she will gain the verb zoom. Zoom grants 10% echo skill crit damage for the entire team per stack. Zoom can stack up to a maximum of 4 stacks, meaning she can grant 40% echo skill crit damage for the entire team, which she will get 1 stack of zoom on liberation, and she will get 1 additional zoom per consumed photo from Oblivion. Alright, now let me properly explain what is Oblivion. Oblivion is a skill that automatically casts itself while Lucilla is performing her basic attack in her liberation state. Well, precisely, Oblivion is casted when you are spamming her basic attack, which each hit will consume 1 photo. Or, if you're holding your basic attack, your enhanced basic attack 3 will consume all 3 photos at once. After enhanced basic attack 3 ends, Lucilla will automatically cast a skill called Letting It Go. And just like Oblivion, it deals basic attack damage while in Glacial Chafe mode, and deals echo skill damage while in echo mode. Casting Letting It Go additionally grants 20 concerto energy. With the main part of her kit explained, we can finally move on to the outro skill. While in Glacial Chafe mode, enemies will receive 60% extra Glacial Chafe damage for 30 seconds. This buff remains active even after switching characters, meaning that you can quick swap between Hiyuki and Chisa after casting Lucilla's outro skill. While she's in echo mode, the next character will get 50% echo damage deepen for 14 seconds, and this buff would disappear if you switch away from the character. Now onto Lucilla's rotation. Thankfully she only has 1 rotation. Start off with her intro skill, hold resonance skill and gain perfect focus, press liberation when you get the 3rd photo, hold down basic attack until you see Letting It Go, and then swap to your DPS. And that's literally it for Lucilla's rotation. Onto Lucilla's sequences. Is it worth additionally investing into Lucilla beyond sequence 0? Starting with S1, S1 makes her perfect focus timing a guarantee at a much quicker timing, and gives her 20% crit rate when casting her skill, and adds interrupt immunity. It's a decent quality of life upgrade overall. Now onto S2. It grants a straightforward buff to your main DPS. On Glacial Chafe mode, Lucilla will grant an extra 80% Glacial Chafe damage. In Echo mode, Lucilla will grant 40% Echo skill damage amplification across the entire team. S3 onwards to S5, the buffs are pretty simple and overall just okay. They mostly just bump up her personal damage and give her 30% damage reduction while attacking with S4. Finally with S6. Each time she consumes 1 photo, she gets a massive damage boost called Remembrance for her Letting It Go attack. And if she defeats any enemy while she was in her ultimate, she will get 3 photos back upon exiting the ultimate, allowing her to remain on the field as a DPS styling on her enemies. For her recommended sequence stopping points, S0 is perfectly fine for most players. She's already providing potent buffs for Hiyuki and Echo teams. S2 is a huge jump in team buffs. It is great if you want to see your main DPS do even bigger numbers. S6 converts her into a DPS with herself dealing big damage numbers. Now let's move on to weapon recommendations. Lucilla's signature weapon, Freeze Frame, is her best in slot, providing 24% crit rate and up to 36 attack for herself and 24% for her teammates. It also provides 30% glacial damage buff for herself, drastically improving her personal damage. For her alternative option, you have String Master, also granting crit rate and some attribute damage bonus for Lucilla. As for free-to-play alternatives, both Cosmic Ripples and Fusion Accretion are viable options as these weapons provide some extra attack. So what is Lucilla's recommended investment? S0R0 is perfectly fine for most players, due to most of the buffs coming from herself. S2R1 if you want a noticeable jump for your team's damage, and S6R1 for those who have the money and want to go all in for her DPS playstyle. If you're tight on pulls after the Cyberpunk collab banner, you can just aim for S0. That is the best value for most, especially casual players. Lucilla has a number of options depending on which team you're playing her with. For 5-piece Glacial Chafe team, you're recommended to use 5-piece Wishes of Quiet Snowfall, and Glomoth as your main Echo, providing 37 glacial damage bonus to the incoming resonator. And your main stat priorities should be crit rate crit damage on your cost 4, glacial damage bonus on your cost 3, and attack percent on your cost 1. For substat priorities, your most important stat will be crit rate and crit damage, following by basic attack damage bonus, attack percent, and finally flat attack. For Echo teams, or if you're playing both and want to be lazy, you can just use 5-piece Moonlit Clouds, providing 12% damage bonus and 22.5% attack to the main DPS. Your main stat priorities should be crit rate and crit damage on your cost 4, glacial damage bonus on your cost 3, and attack percent on your cost 1. for substat priorities, crit rate and crit damage, following by attack and flat attack. On the best team synergy with Lucilla, here are the top team comps. Team 1, which is our Galcio Chafe team of Hiyuki, Chisa and Lucilla. Lucilla will serve as the third character for Hiyuki's Galcio Chafe team, alongside Chisa as Hiyuki's teammate. Chisa allows Lucilla and Hiyuki to dish out more damage thanks to Chisa's Thread of Bane from her outro, while Lucilla boosts Hiyuki's Galcio Chafe damage and provides Glacial res reduction to enemies. And Team 2 for your Echo team enjoyers, with Sigrika or Gabrina, Lucilla and Shorekeeper. Lucilla serves as the second character that amplifies the damage for your Echo main DPS like Sigrika or Gabrina, thanks to Lucilla's own buffs and from 5-piece Moonlit Clouds. And Shorekeeper in general is still an unbelievable third slot by providing a nutty 12.5% crit rate and 25% crit damage, alongside heals which grant the buff from 5-piece Rejuvenating Glow. And that's it for team composition. Let's talk about Lucilla's synergy with Hiyuki. There's a misconception that Lucilla isn't worth pulling if you already have Lene for Hiyuki. I don't think it's really that simple. While yes, Hiyuki automatically converts Galcio Chafe into Frostbite and immediately triggers its maximum damage, so on paper, adding more Galcio Chafe might not seem important. However, Lucilla isn't just about damage. She makes Frostbite applications much more consistent, allowing Hiyuki to freeze mobile enemies like the Astronaut or the Reactor Husk far more reliably. More freezes means better crowd control, improved survivability, and easier damage uptime. And on top of that, Lucilla also provides Glacial res reduction, helping Hiyuki to deal with glacial resistant enemies. That said, Lene still has her own strengths. She can provide Toon Rupture damage, which can become extremely valuable whenever the game modes or seasonal buffs favor Toon mechanics. So rather than viewing Lucilla as a simple side grade, it's more accurate to say that Lucilla and Lene excel at different situations. Lucilla offers better freeze consistency, crowd control, and glacial support, while Lene provides stronger Toon Rupture utility when content is designed around it. Let's talk about Lucilla's synergy with Echo teams as well, since Lucilla's crit damage buff only applies to Echo skills, meaning currently the DPS characters that can fully benefit from the bonus will be Sigrika, due to all of her attacks counting as Echo skill damage. Gabrina can still make use of it for a very good amount, but only if you use dash cancelling on her enhanced basic attacks 1, 2 and 3 during her demon hypostasis, to increase her ratio on her Echo skill damage. Rollover however doesn't really get the full end of the buff, since a majority of her damage profile is counted as resonant skill. You're actually much better off sticking with Churyuan for his unconditional team-wide 30% crit damage buff. So what do you think about Lucilla? Are you planning to pull her after watching this video, or have you already pulled her? Let me know in the comments below. For any updates or changes to the guide, be sure to check the pinned comment. If this guide helped you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more quick and easy Wuthering Waves guides. Thanks for watching and best of luck for your pulls, and have a wonderful day.